Ice, full of coming to you with a video. Now, this is going to be a commentary on this video because this video right here just basically summarizes the relationship dynamics that we are going through in this society and in this generation. And I'm not saying that this is going to be all women, and I'm not saying how his response is based on like how other dudes will respond. But I'm just gonna give my thoughts on this video, and you let me know how y'all think about it in the comment section. But let's begin.
I honestly want a six-figure guy.
Boom. That's where even at the beginning, okay, that just shows you what type of time we're living in. She didn't even start with like, okay, I'm looking for a dude whose soul is clean, pure. I'm looking for a dude with a pure heart. I'm looking for a dude that has some that has his head on his shoulders. She didn't even start with that. She just went straight to, I'm looking for a six-figure dude. And it's like, I'm like, wow, like, so that's what it really comes down to, huh? I'm just looking for a six-figure dude. But I digress.
Is what I'm realizing.
And ma'am, and that's my point. You ladies all feel like, listen, you ladies all feel like you're the exception to the rule. And then when someone like myself comes along and gives you a dose of reality, instead of just accepting it, it's like, yeah, but I'm special. You don't know any men on this level that are not your father, that aren't related to you. That means you don't know these men. You don't know where to go get them. You don't know what they want. But you're still saying, pick me. They don't want mid-30-year-old baby mamas. I'm trying to be polite, man, but they don't want those.
And that's a fact. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but this is, and I'm not saying all females. I'm not about to put all females under a bus, but a lot of females are hella delusional when it comes to figuring out what niggas really want, because of the simple fact that we're living in the social media age. We're living in the damn reality TV age, and they think that that's what every body, every nigga. And that's a fact. I'm sorry to say it, but that's a freaking fact. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but like a lot of these women are very delusional. I'm not saying all are, but a lot are, when they think that this is what we aspire to. That we aspire to this social media age type relationship, or this reality TV style type of relationship. Most guys that I know who are well off, who have built themselves up, who are basically like self-made, most of them dudes are not trying to get women that even know that they have money. Okay? They're not trying to get women who are who are like this woman, who like are basically thinking that they're worthy enough to be chosen. You know, in essence, a dude who has real Skrilla, he's not going to want a woman who throws herself at him, for the simple fact that if she's doing it, others are, that means she's doing it to other guys as well. But let's continue.
Question.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Why is that so? Okay, go ahead.
Why is it so what?
Go ahead.
From my point of view, I feel like I get what you're saying. They do have better options, but also those better options are younger girls. Those younger girls don't necessarily 20-year-olds are not necessarily attracted to 45-year-olds.
Bullshit. I'm 51 and I can't beat them off with a stick. That's another one.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact, that what he's saying, because I'm in my 20s right now, and from my personal experience, they want that's what they want. They want some of these younger girls, not only some, but a lot of these younger girls want an older nigga who's gonna mold them. Okay, some are open to that. Some don't want little ass boys. Some want older niggas that are gonna like mold them and shape them up and things like that. Especially when that older nigga got his shit together. Okay, that's just how it's been for my experience and people around me's experience. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, she's kind of lightweight throwing salt at younger girls, because she probably knows deep inside that dudes are more prone to go with younger girls than to go with someone like her, in which he's gonna about to expose as we get longer in the video. But that's a falsehood, although I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't entertain any women at this time, because I got too much shit on my plate anyway to even entertain women. But what I'm trying to say is that, society may not like for like older men to be with younger women. And when I say older men, I mean like in their like late 20s, early to mid 30s, maybe being with like a 20-year-old, maybe being with like a 21-year-old, 20. Like society would like to keep you as close as possible in age to your partner. That's what society would like on the surface level. But I mean, I can go into, that's a whole nother video in itself about the amount of pedophilia they're pushing into society. But that's the crazy double standards about this society. They'll make you out to be a villain if you fancy younger women, but they're trying to normalize basically going after babies. But let's continue on.
You lies. No, younger women are attracted to older men. What are you talking about?
So, can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So, do you feel like a woman like me?
Uh-huh. What would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? You cannot use 7.
Would I rate myself?
Just your face.
My face, when I wake up, 5, but when I put myself together, 6.
Okay. And how tall are you?
5'5".
Dress size.
I'm sorry?
Your dress size.
A 3.
Okay. So that makes you, if you give yourself a 5, that's average.
Yes.
So average looking women tend not to get high earning men. They tend to get average men.
Now, here's the thing. You have to listen to what she said. I mean, she basically said that, when she's a 5 when she wakes up, but then when she puts makeup on and puts herself together, she's a 6. Now, here's the thing. From what I've come across, a real guy is gonna want a woman who, in essence, does not need pounds of makeup to put themselves together. I understand the place of makeup and how it helps and how it enhances what a woman already has. But a dude is usually going to want a woman who just kind of looks after herself, not like solely dependent on makeup. That has a lot, like how you look after yourself has a lot to do with your eating habits and just your day-to-day habits. If you depend on makeup so much, and whatnot, then that just goes to show you like what kind of habits you're in. You know what I mean? But anyhow, I digress. Let's continue on.
So,
Did you, I mean, stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Breathe and digest. You're 35 years old, and you can look around and see the world. You don't tend to see higher earning men with average looking women off rip. If you do see them, they got their average looking woman when they were both really young and he built his way up. But a man earning the kind of money you're talking about does not go for an average looking woman.
And that's a fact too. When you look at, for example, when you look, I think they were together for a long time. They were together since high school, before he even got to the point he got to in the NBA. But I'll take an example of what this gentleman says. When you look at Allen Iverson and his wife, Tawana, I think that's her name, by the NBA standards, by the caliber of women that you can get being an NBA player, she would be looked at as an average woman. And the reason why that Allen Iverson was with her is for the simple fact that they were together off rip since high school. She was there when he was just coming up. She was there when he was earning his stripes because he could have probably went to the NFL as well if he wanted to. He was a hell of a football player too, but he decided he was going to stick with basketball. But if you look at that, okay, if you look at that, then you will see the simple fact that what this guy is saying is the truth. Okay? When you're, for example, say you're just coming up, right? And you're earning your stripes. You're doing what you do. And girls are, because you're not appealing to women, and because most women want the finished product, you get shunned on by these women. But when you're bossed up, when you're rolling in that Wraith, or when you're rolling in that Continental GT, whatever the case may be, then you're going to obviously want to choose the highest caliber of women you can. You're not going to want to deal with those same women those same average women who didn't see anything in you. You're going to want to choose from the cream of the crop. So what he's saying is spot on, but let's continue on.
I mean, my body is not average, so.
But ma'am, you please don't make me say it.
Say what? I really just wanted some advice. I love your.
I'm giving you advice, but you're not taking it. The advice is, ma'am, you're average looking at best.
I'm taking it in, but.
Okay, but you're not accepting the fact that, okay, average looking women, average looking woman who's older, average looking older woman with a 13-year-old son, average looking woman with a 13-year-old son with a sketchy baby daddy. This gets worse every time I say something. And now you're asking for a man who's in the top 10% of men. You don't qualify for one.
And that's a whole fact. Like, this society is so backwards because of the simple fact that A lot of women want this. A lot of women want you to now be the new dad, right? Because they feel entitled. They feel like, okay, since the other baby daddy didn't work out, since he hurt me, since he did this, that, and the other to me, that they're owed something. But it takes two to tangle. And so, with that being said, I'm in my 20s. I'm in my prime. Okay, I'm gonna be in my prime for for at least a good 10 or 15 years more. I'm gonna be in my prime. Me personally, I'm not gonna, and I don't have any kids. Okay, I'm unmarried. I don't got kids. If I was on the dating scene or whatever the case may be, I would not want to entertain a woman with kids. No disrespect, okay? It's just that why should I be responsible for something that another dude is not responsible for? You know what I mean? I'm sorry to say it, but in many instances with this single mother syndrome, it's very toxic, unfortunately. And I'm not talking about every single mother. I'm not saying it's everyone, but I'm just saying it's most of them, for the simple fact of the reality and the feminism and things like that. And the I don't need a man syndrome as well. Because of the simple fact that when a dude does come in, they want to walk all over him, and that's the biggest problem. So many dudes who, as this guy is saying, many dudes who are high quality are not going to want these problems. If the baby daddy is sketchy, who's to tell that if you're dealing with this woman, the baby daddy may not try, how should I say it? Who's to say that you dealing with this woman may not provoke the baby daddy to come knock your head off because he's not over her? You know what I mean? So no, I wouldn't want to deal with a woman who has kids. I'm sorry. It's just, and then on top of that, this is the thing. I guarantee you this, if it was the other way around and the dude had kids, then women would be encouraging her not to deal with him. But let's continue on.
I don't want to have to go there, but when you put in all these other factors, why can't you just get a man that's an average guy?
Sometimes I feel like in order to fully submit, I have to feel like he's in.
Well, then you're gonna die alone. How about that?
Okay. Now, that may have been harsh and things like that, but it does drive home the point that, a majority of these women don't want dudes who are just doing what they have to do. Like, a majority of these women, like, say if a dude's a carpenter, say if a dude is a plumber, say if a dude is an auto mechanic, a lot of these women don't want those dudes. The reason being that they just do what they have to do. They're making a living for themselves, but they're not doing it in a social media way. They're not doing it in a lavish, in a look at me way. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of these women have fell into. So that's why you will hear about women who who like drug dealers, who like all the who like people who are involved in this. I mean, that's why that's I mean, let's keep it real. It would be foolish to say that part of the reason why dudes get it would be like real foolish to say that dudes don't get money for women as well. You know, of course they get it to live, survive, build, and whatnot, but there's also the women factor that comes with money, right? So that's why you see more youth striving to either be an athlete, striving to be a drug dealer, or striving to be a rapper, being that does present a lot of monetary reward. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, being a let's just say being a teacher, being a professor or something like that, that's not really what a majority of these women want. You know what I mean? That's why I hardly tell women that I do things that I'm. That's why I hardly tell women I'm involved in certain things that I'm involved in, because of the simple fact that, you know, I know what time it is, you know, and it's better just to move quiet, you know, because of how this society is set up with gender relations. But let's continue.
Let me just cut to the chase, ma'am. You can feel like what you want to, but women like you die alone. Straight up. Because you think you're better than the men that you qualify for. The only reason, honestly, ma'am, that I can see a woman like yourself really thinking you deserve more is because you earn more money than most people around you in North Carolina. But if your ass worked at the post office, you would not think so highly of your opportunities. And
that's another thing too. Me personally, I'll never get involved with a woman who is making more money than me, who brings home more money than me. And the reason being is that you basically give her your power. Very rarely do you have a woman who will be like, oh, it's no problem. You know, it's no problem. It's no, it's all good. You know, I got us. You know, we're in this together. Because of the simple fact that she makes more. So if she makes more, what's going to happen is she's going to end up trying to control more in most of the scenarios. You know, where I come from in Africa, it's a matter of, you know, being a man. And a man is a provider. A man goes out and get it. Like, for example, in my tribe, Fulani tribe, you don't see women herding cattle. That's the man's job. That's what we do. You know, they look after the house. They bring up the kids. They teach the kids. That's one misconception, is that, you know, women are quote unquote not educated in traditional African societies. But how can they not be educated when they have to teach the kids? As a matter of fact, we have a saying, you know, you educate a man, you educate an individual. If you educate a woman, you educate a whole village. So that's thrown out the window over here, because a lot of these women, of course, want to fall into this feminist thing. And because they are earning more now, And when not, it gives them a sense of entitlement. It gives them a sense of, basically taking now the man's role instead of being a woman. But let's continue.
That's the reality. Men don't care about your money. Not the kind of men that you want. We don't care about your money.
And that's another fact too. Like, we don't care about money. Like, we really don't. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, that's not one thing I look at when it comes to like a woman. It's like her money. Like, if you keep yourself up and things like that, then that's good. But I'm looking at where your spirit is. I'm looking at where your soul is. I'm looking at where your heart is. I'm looking at where your mind is. I'm not looking at where your bank account is. I can care less. But, it is what it is. But let's go.
It ain't ours. We care about the fact that you are older and you got kids.
Mm-hmm.
And you're average.
Mm-hmm.
And your reality of your life has showed you that. You don't have the kind of men that you want knocking on your door trying to find you. See, what we've done in this country, this world, is we've told women like yourself that you can have it all, and you got a Prince Charming who's 6 foot, 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, jawline, all this other kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, man. No. Most people.
And, I'm not going to try to play the blame game, but we can blame that factor on who controls the media. Who controls the media? Who controls the narrative? Who controls all of those factors? Because when you really look at it and things like that, us as black people, we're so easily influenced by outside factors. For example, I'm gonna just be real. The whole vegan movement, be honest, there was like really no black people looking at veganism until it just became mainstream, until it became something trendy. And guess who made it trendy? I don't need to say who made it trendy, but what he says is spot on. This world, and because who controls the world, has made it out that we somehow, that women are somehow owed a Prince Charming when their shit stink too, in essence. And so what happens is, terms like toxic masculinity, terms like feminism are tossed around and played with, and it creates this narrative that is presented here with this woman.
Who get average people, especially average people. And you're an average person. I mean, let's be real. You're not running Microsoft. You got a pet grooming business. You've been making 6 figures for the last 3 years. Okay. But if I looked at you and I took all that off of you, all the eyelashes and all the hair, what do you look like under there?
I mean, I look the same.
No, you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't have all that on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know he seems mean and savage, but it's just, I'm sorry to say it, but like, that's how you have to be with women, bro. You can't be like a simp ass nigga with these women, bro. Otherwise, if you try to be a simp ass nigga with these women, they're gonna walk all over you and use the shit out of you, and you'll be left with nothing. Trust me, I've seen it firsthand. I'm not gonna name her name. But I'm an immigrant nigga from Los Scandalous, okay? There was this one female who really thought I was supposed to put her ass on a pedestal because of the simple fact that, you know, she's a good girl, she's this, that, and the other. And I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna like feel bad for her or anything like that. Because of the simple fact that some of the things that happened, they were brought upon by her. So why the hell would I play Captain Save a Woman when some of the things were brought on by her? And I just kept it funky. I kept it real. I said, you care about what people think about you too much, man. And you need to like knock that shit off. I said it just like that. And then, of course, it created emotion. And then one time she was talking about me using my platform to uplift black women. And I said, I'm not a simp. Okay. And so she proceeded to call me a dick because of that. And I'm like, listen, I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm not a brother polite. I'm not one of these conscious, quote unquote, woke niggas who like gas up black women. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Will I come to their defense? Yeah. But I'm not about to be on no, black woman is God. She's a queen. I don't even call myself a king. Okay. I don't even use that word for myself. So I'm not about to do that, bro. And so this is what we see right here. You know, what he says. It's just straight uncut. But a lot of times, if you say things straight and uncut, you're looked at as a jerk. You're looked at as mean. You're looked at as, for him, I heard someone say he a narcissist just for keeping it a buck. But let's go.
No, you don't. You don't look the same because if you did, you wouldn't have all that on.
So, what is your advice for women that?
All right, I'll tell you my advice, man, because you're not listening to me. This is why I always recommend you need therapy. Because you seem like a sweet woman, but you don't. But you're not getting it.
You're being so mean.
I'm not being. Don't tell me I'm being mean. I'm about to be mean. I get tired of you broads telling me I'm being mean because you cannot handle the goddamn truth. You called my show on a day that you ain't even supposed to be here, and I honored the call and sat here and tried to help you. And I'm telling me I'm being mean. Get the fuck out of my phone.
And that's another fact too. You know, when you keep it all the way funky with women, you're looked at as an asshole. You're looked at as mean. You're looked at as a jerk. But you're just going by principles you stand on. In my opinion, in the school where I come from, the school of life in which I was raised up in, you're actually looked at as a nicer person when you tell a person how it is, rather than sugarcoating it and basically gassing a person up. Okay? I remember many times just doing, being involved in sports, being involved in track and field, when I had to just really take account of myself. My coach, like one of my coaches was like, man, you run like shit. He said it just like that. And I'm just like, damn, man. He's right. And then I proceeded to ask him, okay, well, what can I do to run better? What do I need to do to run better? It's my form.